I want to start off saying that I'm not a healthcare professional and I'm just talking about what I went through in about the last year, um, the things that led into a depression diagnosis. Um, I think that there's so many people struggling right now, and I hope that this makes you feel less alone, and I think it's worth putting this out there if it helps at least one person. And I'm not going to get into the circumstances of what created this whole situation, but because I feel like everyone goes through different things and everyone has different thresholds, and it's such a emotional, mental, physical thing that it'd be hard to pinpoint, like, really, like, all of the different things that happened, and I'm learning now that it's also a lot to do with how or what happened in your childhood or how you were raised. Um, so yeah, I was not having thoughts of self-harm, so I had this idea of what depression was in my head, from knowing people that had depression or have it, and I just didn't think that. I honestly thought that it could never happen to me, um, but yeah, I think I just didn't know what it was properly, and I was so shocked when I saw depression or major depression written down on medical things. Um, yeah, so I just want to talk about the signs that I experienced, sort of in chronological order or from my memory of them. So the first sign is that I was feeling like I didn't recognize who I was, and this was a lot in relation to my job. I remember just looking in the mirror one time and just feeling so lost and like I didn't know who I was anymore, and just what I was doing felt so disconnected from who I was. And yeah, my life felt alien to me. And reason number two is crying for no apparent reason. I remember going on holiday last October. I went with a friend and I had such a good time, like, had an amazing time. And after I came back, I remember I was crying almost every day after work. Like, I would log off and then after a while, like, I would just start crying. And I'm usually quite an emotional person, so I honestly didn't think it was something that weird. I just thought, "Oh, I'm just going through, like, maybe a sad period." Even though I didn't know what really was causing the crying, I was like, "Maybe it's just post-holiday blues, like, it sucked to go back to work." Um, and I didn't think it was strange. Like, I remember telling a friend about it, like, months later. And she said, "Oh, I saw, like, we caught up and you never told me that you were going through this." And honestly, like, I didn't think it was that weird for me. Like, I know when I'm really tired, I can get emotional, so I tend to cry. um, for not really a particular reason, but I'll be really sensitive. So, um, yeah. But now looking back, I was like, okay, there's probably a lot more crying than normal, and for like to be crying every day is just a bit crazy. And actually, now that I'm talking about it, like when I was working from home, which is a lot of the time, I remember sometimes I would start crying while I was working. Um, but yeah. So reason number three is that my room or my apartment was a mess. Um, I remember when my mum visited, I cleaned up like the living area and the kitchen and everything. But then when she saw my room, she made a comment about the mess, and I just didn't have the energy to clean my room at all. There was like piles of clothes everywhere, and I'm renting, so there are inspections that the agency does every 6 months. Um, so they will come and take photos, and obviously, like my landlord will see the photos. And um, one time he was asking me if the agency gives notice. He was like, "Oh, do they just surprise show up on you?" And I said, "No, they give like 30 days notice." Why? Like, was it was it messy in the photos? And he was like, "Yeah, it seemed like it." And he thought, "Oh, that's not like her." So even for other people, they they start recognizing things that aren't normal for you. Um, so reason number four is I was taking days off. I was just so tired, and I kept taking off days. Like I'll take a Friday off or a Monday off to extend the weekend. Um, but then it never made me feel rested. Like, um, yeah, it was just like how the weekend was. Like I just somehow came back to work not feeling like not having more energy. Um, and reason number five is insomnia. Like I, yeah, it was getting quite hard to sleep. Um, yeah, and I feel like a lot of the signs kind of all tie in to each other. Like the next sign is that it was getting harder and harder to get out of bed, and that's probably related to the insomnia, as well as like it was just hard to get up and get ready and start working. Like I started always just getting up later and later, and even when I went into the office, I was just super later than normal. And reason number seven is sorry, sign number seven is I was getting headaches, and I'm not really someone that normally gets headaches, migraines, anything like that. Um, but I would start getting headaches during the day when I was working, or yeah. Um, Sign number eight is I was starting to lose motivation to go to the gym. Like, I think I was trying to go at least once a week, and then that slowly dropped off. I just like couldn't get up. Um, and going out to socialize. Like I used to go to a lot of meetups and things like that, but I started to not wanting to go to those things either. and when I was around, like, family or whatever, I was feeling disconnected. Um, yeah, it was just this weird feeling sitting there, like, I felt really um, fragile, but also, like, disconnected at the same time. It's hard to explain. Um, and then reason number 9 is I s I started to stop caring about things, like, stuff I used to get angry or just, like, down about, or, like, even work tasks, like, um, I was just like, "I just don't care anymore." Um, and yeah, so those are all the things that, looking back, I can see, um, were the signs that showed. Um, and yeah, if you watched till now, thank you. And if you're going through this, I hope that you can reach out to a healthcare professional. If you're in Australia, definitely try out, if your workplace has EAP, I would say the first thing is to try them, just to talk to someone. They're completely independent from, like, your workplace, so, um, yeah, they're not gonna know anything about your phone calls, but otherwise, talk to your doctor, just someone that can provide you more resources and help, um, and if you are still watching, I have a bonus one, which is, I think for me, it was related to the insomnia as well. Like, I was kind of looking for an escape, and for me, thankfully, like, I don't have any substance addiction. So the thing I turned to was, like, my phone or social media. I was just scrolling a lot, and I was on it constantly. It was just hard to put my phone down. It was, like, strapped to my palm. Um, but yeah, so that I think that sums everything up. And thanks for watching.